Hey everybody, how's it going? Corridor here, keeping it danky in Raid Shadow Legends. What I thought we would do today is show you how I perform in one of my favorite areas of the game, the Chimera. This clan boss, really interesting. It's the most unique area of the game. It has some of the most interesting mechanics in the game. It has great rewards. That's part of the reason why it's one of my favorite areas of the game. Not only does it give me the materials for relics, which I think are an awesome new mechanic to the game via customization with your champions, which I love in any game, but it also gives you fragments towards a mythical. As I've stated before in previous videos, I have no mythical. So finding an area of the game where I can actually consistently farm one up is a good place to be for me. So I thought today I would show my team and show a key in Chimera. We're going to go on hard difficulty, and my team has been dismantled. So let's put that together. The rotation just changed, so I've got to tweak it a little bit, but we are still using roughly the same champions. Last rotation, I used Rathalos Blademaster. I am going to trade him out for Corvis the Corruptor. That way I can also get additional trials done on the Viper form. So I bring Geomancer, Godseeker Aniri, Grand Oak Padraig, Corvis the Corruptor, and Oella. Let me show you the builds for those champions real quick. So for Corvis, we've got him built in Perception, 2-piece Stone Skin, 2-piece Pinpoint, Accuracy, and 1-piece Barrel. I tried to get as much accuracy as I possibly could. The Stone Skin is simply because those were pieces that had really good stats on them that just happened to be part of a set. Tried to keep accuracy and speed on all of the pieces just because he needs it, because his kit relies heavily and entirely, in fact, on debuffs. A1 here, he will place decrease attack. Then on the A2, he will attack all enemies 2 times, increasing all enemy debuffs and your ally buffs by 1 turn. The fact that this is on a 3 turn means that you can keep up certain buffs indefinitely. It is really valuable. And then on the A3, again, attacks all enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance when booked of placing 2 poisons, big version, for 2 turns. After attacking, if the target is under 2 or more poisons, also places poison sensitivity, which basically just makes your poison do even more damage. I wish this lined up with the A2 and was also on a 3-turn cooldown, but you're still going to see it a lot. And then on the passive, damage is decreased by enemies under poison. 5% per poison debuff stacks up to 25%. Because of the way this A3 and A2 interact, that is incredibly easy to do. In fact, it is possible to stack up so many poisons that you can't get the rest of your debuffs out there. And then he also brings defense in all battles. I run him with Brimstone because Brimstone can do a lot of damage on clan bosses. Here are the stats. I've got him at almost 50k HP, 4.6 defense, 217 speed, 548 accuracy. I had no idea I had that much accuracy on him. So realistically, at some point, I'm probably going to change some of his gear in order to get him faster in exchange for some accuracy. Next on the list, we have Grand Oak Padraig, currently the fastest champion on my account. I use this guy everywhere. He's fantastic. Got him built in triple righteous for as much speed as I can muster, as well as triple pinpoint. Accuracy, he doesn't need, but the pieces had good stats, so I just kept it anyway. Oh, also on Corvis, I currently have a Gilded Dragonstone relic, just to give him extra defense, makes him even tankier, and turn meter effects are more effective on him. We literally just went for as much speed as we can get. Speed rolls just wherever I can find them. Some of the only triple speed rolls on my account on this champion. His kit is just perfect for going as fast as possible. On the A1, he has a 25 books to 50% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random ally's active skill by 2 turns. I need to finish booking these, but quite frankly, I have higher priorities. A2 teams up with all allies to attack a single enemy, also fully restores all allies destroyed max HP and places continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown when booked. That is a really good skill. The restoring destroyed max HP is a little niche, but it's great for Hydra. And then the A3 fills turn meter of all allies by 20%, full cleanse on the entire team, and places increased speed on the entire team for 2 turns. This move is incredible. Books down to a 3-turn cooldown. On the passive, it is a really nice passive. At the start of this champion's turn, places a buff on each ally for 1 turn depending on their type. Attack champions get increased attack, defense champions get increased defense, support champions get increased accuracy, and HP champions get a shield buff equal to 30% of their max HP. The only gripe I have about this champion is the fact that he places increased accuracy on supports. That includes himself, and he doesn't need accuracy in his kit at all. So it's useless, at least on him. I think it would have made a little more sense if it was increased resistance, because he can make a very good mischief tank because he doesn't require accuracy in his kit. It's a lot easier to build him the other way. Speed in dungeons by 25%. For the aura, I have cruelty on him because between the A1 and the ally attack, he actually throws out a lot of hits, so he racks up the defense decrease pretty quickly. Again, we went down here, picked up War Master, definitely more focused on his buffs, lasting gifts, so that way we can get extra duration on that increased speed. Still picking up Cycle of Magic and Lore of Steel. Then for the relic, we've got Journal of Necrodos, just so we can get more value out of that turn meter fill on the A3. Plus it gives them extra HP, which is always nice. Gemstone, reduction of turn meter effects from enemies. I should probably change that. Next up on the team, we have Oella. Fantastic healer. Second legendary I ever pulled, and I still use her. She has something that Padraig does not, and that is decreased speed on the A1. It books to a 100% chance. Then she has a heal on the A2, all allies by 30% of their max HP. It's a wonderful heal. Increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. Paired with Corvis, like we've got her, basically your buffs never go away, which can actually be a bad thing. Then on the A3, fills turn meter of all allies by 30% and places a 50% increased resistance buff on all allies for 2 turns. Books down to a 3-turn cooldown. She pumps out a lot of turn meter. We also gave her a Journal of Necrodos, so that way that turn meter fill and the heal are increased by 21%. And on the passive, she does even more healing. Whenever an ally loses 15% or more of their max HP from a single hit, she places a continuous heal on that ally for 1 turn. It's a really good source of healing. Cruelty is the blessing that she has, simply just more opportunity to decrease a boss's defense. Honestly, the argument could be made for me switching her to Brimstone, but it's just a 1-star blessing, so I'll probably just keep her with the cruelty. Masteries, only real ticket, same thing as Padraig's, just focused on increasing healing, working with the buffs, decreasing cooldowns. Finally, we have Geomancer. Got to build an accuracy set, 1-piece Slayer, just because that's what I had, divine speed, and 2-piece pinpoint. Pinpoint is such a good set. Here's the stats. Have him built with almost 50k HP, 3.5k attack, 2.6k defense. I actually don't want him to have a lot of defense because I want him to take a lot of damage, so that way I'm getting more damage out of his passive. 211 speed, could be better. Not looking to crit cap him because, again, not looking to get damage out of him this way. Then we come down, we have 325 accuracy. This could be higher, but quite frankly, again, gear is a problem. Recently, I made a video where I forged some relics. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and check it out. I gifted another Gilded Dragonstone, so I decided to put it on Geomancer, give him a little bit of defense, but primarily because of this gemstone right here. Any reflect damage effects and buffs on the wearer deals 10% more damage to enemies. I need to stick another gemstone in this socket. Geomancer, we all know what he does. Just in case you're new to the game. A1, he attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance when booked of placing decreased accuracy for 2 turns. A2, removes all buffs from a target enemy, then attacks them. Steals all buffs instead if the target is under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. Reduces the cooldown of the A3 by 2 turns if the target is killed by this skill while under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. That is rather handy in waves. Do not take Geomancer into Arena. But why is all of that important? Well, he steals 100% of the target's turn meter and then has a 100% chance when booked of placing HP burn and weaken on the target for 3 turns. But what makes this skill so fantastic is his passive. Decreases the damage of all allies received by 15% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under an HP burn placed by this champion. Whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. So you have a 30% chance to essentially get a free HP burn activation activation amount of damage. It's crazy. Then he has a 25% HP in all battles aura, which we will be using today because we don't have a speed aura on the team. For a blessing, I went with Hero's Soul just because I couldn't think of a better one to put on him. Quite frankly, I could swap Oella over to something more legendary appropriate and put Geomancer on cruelty duty, but I just thought for right now, get a little extra damage, 1% extra damage against bosses. Masteries, pretty standard. Cycle of Magic, Lore Steel, Master Hexer to increase the duration of that HP burn, and then come down and grab War Master. That's the squad. Oh, nope, I forgot about Godseeker. Very, very handy champion. Have her built in 5-piece Supersonic, just trying to get that extra speed, and 2-piece Pinpoint. Honestly, I could probably get her in some more, but I'm not too fussed about it at the moment. I have the Demonic Effigy relic on her, whereas turn meter increases by 10% whenever one of their allies dies. She's a reviver, so that's fantastic. Plus, it gives her some extra HP, makes her even more tanky. Her skills are really solid. I love this champion. A1, attacks one enemy, heal the ally with the lowest HP that is not this champion by 5%. It is a really nice way to just keep everyone topped off. The A2 attacks all enemies, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP, then decreases the duration of all buffs on all enemies by 1 turn, and increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. So the team that we are going to be running in Chimera has 3 buff extenders. There is no such thing as a buff falling off with this team. Again, in Chimera, that can be a problem. The A3, fantastic single target revive, 50% HP and 50% turn meter, and resets the cooldowns of all their skills. Forward turn cooldown, single target. If that was all she had, it would be good, but not great. But then we come over to the passive, increases the amount of healing allies receive by 10%. But then the active effect, if an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit and instantly places a revive on death for 1 turn before the damage is taken. Basically, it's another 4-turn revive, and it's on her passive. Blessing, we went with Survival Instinct, got the 4-star, so then she's getting 7% turn meter each time a debuff is placed onto them, occurs once per enemy turn. That happens a lot in the Chimera, so she's getting a lot of turn meter off of that, which just basically gives you more opportunity to heal. I really wish I could get the 6-star for her, so that way there is no restrictions on the turn meter fill, and she'll just get that much more. But it's a blessing, so we can take what we can get. I have barely started on her masteries. Honestly, she might be the next champion that I focus on because she's just that good, and getting War Master in these Chimera runs would really get me a lot more damage. Stats, we're looking at 58k HP, 3.6k defense, 267 speed, happy with that as well, 129 accuracy, not enough to be doing the buff decrease, but I didn't really care about that. I just wanted her to be a solid reviver and healer. That's the squad. So let's get ready and start the run. All right, so let's get this thing started. We're just gonna let this run play, and I will see you at the end of the run. Alright everybody, the run on hard mode failed. We just couldn't survive the Viper form. So I hopped on a normal difficulty, and here's the results. 51.36 million damage dealt. Thanks to the trials we were able to get done, we were at 117 million clash points. Not horrible. The last rotation was definitely better for me because I was able to use Rathalos instead of Corvis. Just way more damage coming out of Rathalos. As you can see, Geomancer putting in the work, doing over 23.5 million damage. Godseeker Aniri doing 2.5 million. Padraig doing 5 million. Oella doing 3.2. All this is coming from War Master. And then Corvis doing almost 17 million. That's going to come from his poisons and his brimstone. Looking good, looking good. All right, guys. Well, let me know in the comments what teams you guys run in Chimera and what kind of numbers you guys get. Let me know what you think about this rotation. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? I will see you guys in another video. If you guys have any suggestions, tips, tricks, things that you want to see, let me know down in the comments below. I will catch you in the future. Stay tanky.